Hey guys, CornsyrupMinecraft here, and today I'm bringing you another mod in our little series of Voltz tutorials called Fluid Mechanics. And this mod it's an interesting one, honestly. It's not the funnest mod ever, which is why it's probably called Fluid Mechanics. But basically what it's about is about pipes and liquid storage and transportation and all that fun jazzy stuff. I'll be honest with you guys, not the best mod in this mod pack, honestly, for quite a few reasons. You can see all these little side notes I've got on these things. All the stuff I read there I think are really major flaws or things I should really tell you about. So we'll just jump right in. There are a few interesting items, a few interesting concepts that could be upgraded in the future. This really seems like a mod that hasn't really taken off yet, but it's just getting started. Like, it has the things, but it just doesn't have a way to implement like the mechanics into it. Like, it's got the pipes and stuff, it just doesn't have enough functionality to really be useful, I think. Anyway, let's jump into the crafting, and then we'll get to a short demonstration over yonder. Anyway, moving on, we got the bronze tube, which is, all these are going to be crafting materials for your pipes, which are going to be the main part of this mod. We've got your bronze tube, which is with 3 bronze at the top. You get 4 of them. It's all hickory dandy. Just made that up. It's pretty awesome when I start using that like more often. Hickory dandy. That's absolutely stupid. I don't know why I would even say that. God. Ugh. Anyway, moving on. Iron tube, same basic principle. Iron, you get an iron tube, 4 of them. So that's pretty nifty. I mean, nothing really much to say there. Again, with the all crafting components. Even this guy's a crafting component. The obby tube, which really makes it sound like the person was just lazy and they didn't want to spout obsidian. So, you know, I mean, that may just be me, but the obby tube is kind of corny for a tube name. But anyway, just 3 obsidian at the top. You get 4 of them. And the only thing this is ever used to craft for is this totally awesome tube. Just ignore this sign right here that, I mean, I'll just cut it off the screen. The lava tube is just such an amazing tube. I mean, there's all the sorts of lava-y stuff you can't do with it. You netherrack, run an obby tube. You get 4 of them. Again, pertaining to this sign right here, absolutely useless. No crafting whatsoever. I'm pressing U right now. You can even see. Can't place it on the ground. Absolutely the most useless tube ever existed. It's basically you just wasted obsidian. So don't ever craft any of these 2 tubes until they implement further things. And so let's move on to some seals. These are also used in creating pipes. Just some leather for the basic leather seal. And you get 4 of those too. So if you can hear the water running in the background. Oops. But other seal just in the crafting component. And then we got this slime seal, also extremely useless. Waste a slime ball right there. But as I said, this mod seems to be like it's adding lots of the items, just doesn't have any of the functionality yet. So we'll see where this kicks off to, probably a bit later whenever the mod updates seriously. So again, just a useless item, kind of annoying. But moving on, we got the valve, which is a semi more important crafting component, with some iron tubes and a lever, or a lever, depending on where you're from. Makes this the valve, and the valve is used to create either a pipe gauge or another pipe we'll get into further down the line. The pipe gauge is just some iron pipes and a valve, and what it does, it's like the volt reader, or it's basically just like your reader of pipes. Like, you know, wires have all those like voltmeters and amperage readers and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. You just kind of click on a pipe and it will tell you all sorts of wonderful stuff that pipe just does not have at the moment. Alright, moving on to the pipes, as we're talking about them. We got the generic pipe, which is pretty much all you'll probably ever use in this mod until they add some more functionality. It's just an iron pipe and a leather seal, like the generic pipe. And then another useless, but fairly aesthetic touch, is the colored pipes. And there are 7 types of them. and they only look cool. That's all they do. They can't carry any liquid. They can't carry anything. But all they're made from is just 4 generic pipes and some dye of the colored choice. Any other color will get you another type of pipe that we'll get into later. But on the wiki, the mod author says that these pipes can be used for other mods that choose to implement them, but I just don't see that as going anywhere. If that mod author wants to use pipes, then he'll probably make his own. So I kind of just see this as an aesthetic touch, just wasting some dye. So I don't know. I'm just gonna check on something. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, okay. Just making sure you only get one of these because I want to make sure I got my numbers right, because you do get 4 of these. Which is kind of obvious because you have 4 pipes. But anyway. So, again, useless items that just aren't ready yet, I think. Then we got the water pipe, which is just a specialty pipe made for water. You get 4 of them for 4 generic pipes and some lapis lazuli. Don't make fun of me for how I say that. I have no idea how to say it, and I honestly don't care whatsoever about how to say a stupid rock that nobody cares about. So, you know. So, again, with the recipes, like lapis lazuli or whatever used to create a water pipe. Like, where's the connection on that? Like, you just colored a pipe blue. Basically, you just took a pipe, took a rock, slammed it on it, and just called it a water pipe. Like, you know, not really seeing the realism or functionality with that. But it's continued throughout the whole entire thing, so we'll have lots of it, which is fun. Alrighty. So, lava pipe. Again, you could just use the generic pipe, not really needed, but you can just use you take the generic pipe with some red dye, you get 4 of them. Again, red dye, I don't know how that's to protect anything against lava. Not that it needs to protect against lava since they're already lava resistant, but I guess if you just want some red pipes, works perfectly fine. And the waste pipe, which I should have had another sign here because it's also useless. On the wiki it says something about carrying waste liquids, and honestly I don't feel like thinking about that right now, what that could mean. If you catch my drift. But it's just made with some generic pipes and some cocoa things, beans, butter, dropping, I don't know. I'm sure it's something cocoa-ish or chocolate-ish or something like that. But just another brown pipe, really. I doubt it carries water or any other liquid since it's a waste pipe, so it's pretty much a wasted pipe if you get my drift. So yeah. Not very cool. And moving on. Fuel pipe. So we just take 4 generic pipes with some yellow dye and just rub it all over, and it kind of stains the pipe a bit, but I'm sure in some way, shape, or form it qualifies it for a fuel pipe, because we wouldn't want to have unqualified fuel pipes, because that would just be dangerous, you know. Like, what if a catastrophe were to happen? All right, so milk pipe, 4 generic pipes and an ink sac, which doesn't make much sense, but you just go with it. I guess they just I don't even know where that logic came in. An ink sac. Anyway, get a milk pipe, and now we're gonna move on to the next pipe, which is 4 generic pipes and an ink sac. Wait, what? Whoops! Face palm for the author. That's what I would have done right then if I realized that mistake. He just made the same recipe for two different items, and which is kind of wow. Like, what? No. And I will show you right here, right hither. I will grab an ink sac and the generic pipe, show you which one comes out if you were to craft this one. If you are a milk drinker, like that calcium, you're probably going to be kind of disturbed by the taste of your milk, because it's probably going to be oil, because you just crafted 4 oil pipes. So, really bad mistake with the author right there. Again, oil pipes not needed in this mod pack whatsoever. There isn't a source of oil unless you count creosote oil from Railcraft, but I don't even know if that counts as oil in this mod. So, I mean, I don't know. And with the milk pipe, why would you want to pipe around milk? That's just unsanitary. What about all those cows out there who are being milked? Would they want their milk running through a dirty pipe that has ink all in it? Just think about that ethically for a moment. No. No, I wouldn't. If I were a cow, if I were Bessie over there in the yard, I would just go on strike. Honestly, I would riot. Just, you know, just refuse my udders to them pesky hands. You know, that didn't come out right, actually, huh? Well, just moving on. Moving on past that catastrophe. To the release valve, which is also a semi-catastrophe, but looks like it has some potential. So it's just created with some generic pipes, redstone, and a valve. You get the release valve, which looks better than most of the pipes. They're it's not just a colored pipe, it's actually got kind of like a sprite on top, or whatever you call it. I don't even know what this stuff is. But anyway, you take your tank, which we'll get into next, and you put a pipe on it, or this release valve, and it allows water to flow out of the pipe, or liquid, or lava, or whatever to flow out of the pipe. Ugh, kind of got tongue-tied there for a second. If you just have a normal pipe there, nothing will come out. You get the release valve, which the wiki says is toggleable. Well, not toggleable. Ooh, big word there. But you should be able to, like, turn it on and off, which I don't get the difference between toggleable and turning on and off is, but, you know, I'm sure it makes sense somewhere. If we check this out with the pipe gauge, or gauge, or whatever you want to call it, output is unrestricted and running. Now, turn that off. Unrestricted and offline. You'd think, with all logic in your brain, however small it may be, that means this pipe will no longer allow liquids out. Well, sir, you are wrong. That brain power of yours was just completely wasted, because that's not what it means at all. So, I don't even know what offline and online or whatever it means. But it's just, there's no way that I know of to change it to unrestricted or restricted or whatever it is. Which I assume is the feature they're talking about, but in the wiki there's no way to turn it on and off. It doesn't give anything like that. And I don't see anything that would be able to turn it on and off, so pipe gauge looks like it's got potential, but just really does not. Completely lacking in some very important areas, such as functionality, but you know. So, tanks. These are what you store liquids in. And so, first one is the unfinished tank, which is kind of like the base tank. You can't actually place it on the ground, it's just like an item in your hand. Just a cool sprite of a badly textured barrel. Alrighty, water tank, which is the first major tank. Holds water, kind of obvious, but you need some wood, some glass, some seals, and then your base tank. And you can see I've got a tank with water in it. Oh my gosh. I think these tanks have like 5 buckets, which really isn't that much. But I guess it's more than a vanilla tank can hold. Haha, gets my drift. But, next moving on is the lava tank, which is some obsidian and some netherrack. We don't actually have the base tank in there, which, I mean, I guess because they just jumped to practicality here, because they just held that up through the entire video right now. Lava will burn through one of those tanks because it's just wood. If we take a look, actually it's iron. Whoops, my bay, because it looks like wood. But anyway, holds lava, holds 5 buckets of lava, doesn't hold anything else, just lava. So moving on to the generic tank, which is just stone and a basic tank, or unfinished tank, or whatever it's called. Generic tank can hold any type of liquid, and so we've got creosote on this one. So I did test this, make sure it works from Railcraft. The basics on liquids, if liquids are allowed in these machines, is if you type in the name of the liquid, such as water, if you get one of these little things up here that isn't a block that you can craft, but it's still that block, if you know what I mean. Like water, you can't actually get that anywhere. It's just kind of like a block in the game, though, and lava right there. If we type in oil, you'll see creosote oil. So, that's pretty much a rule of thumb for liquids if they are able to go through these pipes. So, as of now, there are 3 liquids able to go through these pipes, which makes this mod a real plus, huh? How about that? Moving on to the milk tank. I guess it's just where Bessie stores all of her prize milk after it gets flushed through those oil tanks. But, get some wood and some stone. Not really necessary to craft since, well, milk isn't a liquid, and I've never seen milk as a liquid, so, well, because we can obviously check this. I mean, most of you should probably know this by now, but milk does not have one of those little waterfall-y things, so therefore it is not a liquid supported by this mod. The mod author says that he says that it's for use for other mods. Then why would they put it in this mod pack, you know? I mean, just little things here and there, or big things right there, but, you know, same difference. So now we've got the sink, which is awkward, I guess. Sink in Minecraft, just a little bit too out of place, you know? Especially with all the other pipes. But we got 3 iron, some stone, and a generic pipe. And you might be thinking, sink holds water. You'd be right. So you might also be thinking right now, well, it's a cauldron, and you'd also be right, except for one major thing. It costs 1 less iron. But you have to refill it. Like what? What? It's not a cult. Why would you use that? Just give me like 5 reasons and I'll believe you to use a sink instead of a cauldron. Cauldron is an infinite bucket. Or is it actually? Whoops. Brain fart right there. No, maybe cauldron isn't a... That's for bottle, isn't it? Oops. Well, I made a fool of myself. But it also uses for leather. Can't be killing them cows. Lead to global warming. We don't want that in Minecraft, do we? Oof. No, we do not. Alrighty. Now we've got the geared rod, which is... This is kind of like a planned thing. Doesn't actually work very well. I mean, I guess it works some, but it doesn't really work very well. Mechanical wire, pretty much, is what it is. It creates mechanical energy from the generator, which we'll get to next. Just some iron and an iron tube. It creates you this geared rod, which just looks like a rod with spikes hanging out of it. Not really geared, but you know. What else? So, moving on. Generator, which just powers the geared rod. It's basically some steel plates, some geared rods, motor, and some basic circuits. Get your generator. What the generator does, I've set up a little setup here. Ooh, that was a good one. So, what this does is you turn it on. I've got power coming from an infinite battery over here for testing purposes. It's turning this geared rod, which is turning this generator, which is creating energy. Haha, as shown by this backwards chart here. Anyway, I'll turn that on, and we can just see how much energy this can create, because it does create quite a bit. But keep in mind, I'm also using infinite batteries, so that might be a factor. I do not know. I'm not like a mod author. I don't design the code, or else I would have done this mod a lot better. No offense. But turn this on, you can see it's kind of like really like retardedly turning, and we're generating tons of power. Actually, this is quite a bit of power in those few seconds that I was talking. So quite a good power source, but again, that may be because I have an infinite battery in here, so it's running off all the power I can use. So I don't know. I just don't know. Okay. So yeah. Basically, it turns energy into mechanical power into energy. And the mechanical power is soon, or planned, and this says the wiki, planned, quotation mark, for larger pumps that, I guess, pump larger liquids. What? No. What? I don't know where they're going with that. So, moving on to the pump, the generic pump, not the large pump, mind you, the normal one. Alright, we need some motor, 2 valves, some steel plates, a generic pipe, and 2 basic circuits. We get our pump, which is an okay texture block compared to the most of the other blocks. It looks okay. Looks okay. Not too shabby. Pump just needs to be powered with some current, and it will pump out to the source box underneath it. So it will, according to the wiki anyway, it will not pump blocks to the side. It just pumps underneath it. So keep that in mind. so it's kind of underpowered. Because, yeah, I mean, lava, it's not going to be any use for because there's only like 1 or 2 source blocks there. You have to keep on moving your pump. Like, what? No, I don't want to do that. Why would you want to do that? I don't know. Anyway, pump. I got a little setup over here of the pump in action. I'm going to go ahead and delete these pipes so you can kind of see what's going on here. That was not supposed to happen, actually. Call bug. Oh, speaking of bugs, I'll show you something in a second. If I remember. Generic pipe. Alright. So, we'll just place these back down. Because these do hold water. They hold a certain amount of water. And this thing, yeah, should start kind of filling up. No moving or anything. Some of the other mods in this mod pack do. But these pipes will fill up. And you can see that by read out 1 out of 2 water, 1 out of 2 water, 1 out of 2 water. Now it's getting 2, 2, and then 1 out of 2 water, and 2 out of 2 water now. Okay, cool. So now these pipes are really full, and this water thing is full again. And then we got a release valve, which I'll show you. And we got a. Did you see me just glitch that pipe? What? No. Anyway, release valve. Now, running offline. So when I break these pipes, all right, and I break the sink too because I feel like it, because you know, free country. If you live in America, not if you live in England. I don't know. Look at that. It's offline, right? It shouldn't feel what? What? No. You say offline. What? No. What? See what I'm going with here, guys? This thing is just basically your exit pipe, your wooden pipe from Buildcraft, so you say. And so it just kind of fills up the sinks or other boxes for some odd reason why you want to do that, but I don't know. Keep in mind, though, lava doesn't go in sinks. So don't wash your hands in lava, folks, because lava does not belong there. So says this mod. One of the major qualms I have with this mod was that there's not enough ways to collect the water, or liquid, or fluid, or however you want to say it. And there's not enough ways to get it out of the system. Like, maybe there should be a way to, like, dump the water out. I mean, there's a sink, but it only works for water. The only way to get liquid out is with a bucket, and I'll go get one of these things to show you. Like, and you can get it out of the sink. Why would you want to get out of the sink if you got a full tank right there? But you can just take it out like that, and it's not going to show up in my inventory from some creator bug. But I can just take it like that, and all sorts of stuff. Oh gosh, no, it took it out. I thought you weren't supposed to do that. Stupid bucket. Anyway, I set up bugs earlier. Let's see if I can get this to work. Obviously not, since I'm recording. Here. Well, I have been experiencing a bug where if you place a block, maybe it has to be a mob block. That's probably, yeah. There we are. Next to one of these tanks, it kind of splits in half, just spilling your liquid everywhere. Not really, just kind of splits in half. It's a graphical bug. Just kind of another thing on top of a big pile of things, you know what I mean? So overall, this mod, while it is okay for transporting liquids and such, sometimes it might even be easier just to carry a bucket, you know? I mean, like what? All the problems with it kind of outweigh all the benefits. Like, once they get the mechanical power and stuff upgraded, or working better, then that might be cool. Or if they get like a water power, like a hydro power that like takes it from the pipes and puts it into like a turbine or something, turbine or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think this mod has enough to offer for it to be a really practical use. I mean, that's just a personal opinion, but I've been playing the Voltz pack for quite a while, and compared to all the other major lag. compared to all the other mods out there in the pack, this one has got to be on the bottom. But the video had to be made for all of you guys who just wanted everything you can. So there you have it, guys. There's the fluid mechanics. I have been CornsyrupMinecraft. Have a great day, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, favorite, share, all that fun jazz. See ya.